Okay, so we are here on Lost Flat today. This is the main access road. This comes up the South Fork of Galice Creek. And it'll eventually tie into Chrome Ridge Road. We're parked here on the access road. The pits and the adits are over that area. The main pit is off over there. Location notice is there. So we're going to go down the road here. Kind of show some other features that weren't in the other videos. Got another trench down in here. That hasn't been sampled. We're not sure if there's a vein in the bottom of it or not. So another, you can kind of see the beginning of this trench here where they went up and they trenched toward the adits. A little bit of host rock up in here. Definitely greenstone. I don't know if these are actually pieces of country rock that are in the saprolite, or if they're just broken off and been pushed up here sometime in the past. Got another trench ties into the road up there. The main pit is actually on the other side of this. And they did put a culvert down in here. And you can see that they had come down here and they also did some work down here. You can see some trenching. And the main old road going down to the old mill site goes down that way. And all this surface is like a saprolite by our standards. Pretty typical Galice, actually. You can see a lot of greenstone fragments in it. Sometimes they're bigger. There's a piece of quartz there. A little bit of country rock showing down there. So it's kind of definitely saprolite. Looks like it's been pushed up here by a dozer in the past. Probably years ago. It's pretty heavily disturbed.
I say it's turning to schist right here.
Yeah, there may be a little bit of schist.
There's definitely schist in the pit.
Yeah.
So we're at a greenstone schist contact.
Yeah.
Am I correct that is schist?
I think so. Yeah, it does. It may be a schist. A little bit of float in here. Old roads down here. Goes to the old mill site. Below us, there's actually quite a bit of float scattered down this hill and a lot of disturbances. Like right down here, I can see a landing kind of down through there. Old tailing pile.
Yeah, it's a ore dump from the
yeah.
down
there. There was a pretty big vein
it's
up in here. We've come a little further down the road, kind of down here in amongst some bends in the road, just for reference. Anyway, there's some quartz boulders. You can see they rolled off the hillside here at one time.
I think that's actually an ore dump right there.
Yeah, it could be an ore dump. There's that there, and then there's another one there, some more fragments. And you can actually see the vein crop up here. There's test holes going up the hill. The adits are not really that far ahead of us, above us. A little more quartz. And it's pretty rotten in here. Usually this rotten stuff here looks like it's typical Gliese greenstone. Real rotten. It just comes apart. Definitely a bright red spot. Kind of hard to tell in the viewfinder, but up here you can see the vein crops up here, and they certainly rolled a lot of it off of the hill here down below. And then if we go down here a little bit more, there's a little bit more quartz in there, a little bit more right there. So it's either pretty wide through here, or it's kind of a cluster of smaller veins, none of which are really that small. Another piece of quartz there. And another one here. And it's kind of hard to tell in the viewfinder, but it's the soil is practically kind of an old-fashioned brick red here. Like if you had, like if you got old bricks, you know, made 100 years ago that were actually natural bricks made. A bright quartz, semi-rotten. We'll show a little bit of a hardness here. And it breaks up pretty easy. Cleaves nice, and we will get you a sample of this stuff. It's kind of a size relationship.
So I got a quartz vein over there, and another quartz vein running right about here. I don't know if it's a single quartz vein about 4 feet wide, striking and dipping essentially flat, or if we got just two separate veins right here. I haven't really uncovered them enough to determine that. But either way, we look at least two veins that are at least 2 to 4 feet wide.
Yeah, and that doesn't count these other exposures. There is another exposure down here, plus that bigger one there with the boulders. And obviously the pits and the adits are above us here, and there is down below us here on the slope, there is considerable quartz float scattered all through here in old dumps. There's a little bit of quartz float right down in there, for example, along with our obligatory Gliese poison oak at this low elevation.